Hey guys, welcome back to my little corner of the internet. If we have not yet met, my name is Nicole. I am working in tech in my 30s, living in New York City with my partner. Currently, I'm focused on things like pursuing financial freedom, but also doing it with a abundance mindset. If that's something that aligns with you, I would love to have you along in the discussion and journey of it all. Okay, so a little bit about what this video is going to be about today. I actually wanted to share about the frameworks that both I and my partner uses to set individual goals and to set them together as a couple. I feel like it's been very helpful for us to have a unified approach to make sure that we can achieve all the things that we want in our big, beautiful life and do so in an aligned way. This is the exact system that we've used to do things like move to 3 different cities in the last 3 years together. It's also given us the clarity and the courage to do things like quit jobs and situations that no longer serve our broader goal. So that all to say, we've been very grateful for this system that we've landed on. It's really worked for us, and I just wanted to share it with all of you in case it could be helpful for you too. Cozy up with something that makes you feel good, puts you in the right mindset, and let's get into this framework. Okay, so step number 1 is reflection. The point here is to talk through how your life has gone in the past year. For myself, I like to evaluate how the year has gone based on 6 specific dimensions, and those things are personal development goals, relationships, finances, career and business, health and fitness, and also any special projects that I worked on this year. What I typically do is assess each of those 6 categories and assign some sort of rating to them. I like colors. Some people want to do numbers. Do whatever feels right for you. But the point here is to have a very clear way of grading and scoring how things have been going for you in these specific categories. I encourage you to think through some key questions that will help you get to an honest grading of this, such as what went well in this category? What are some areas that could have been better and improved upon? What are some things that got in my way of achieving my goals? The point here is that it's to encourage honest self-reflection and to help you set a baseline for what you could be doing in the following year. The second step here is to visualize your dream life in 2026. I want you to think really big about what your life could look like. Vision boarding is a really effective exercise here. I do it, I love it. There's something really powerful about imagining what your life can look like and actually seeing visuals supporting that. For me, that's really motivating. Ali Abdaal actually has a piece of advice for his goal setting framework where he advises to tie your goals to your identity. And I feel like with visualization, you can see who you're going to become, decide if you want to become it, and then your goals will ladder up to that vision of who you want to be. So definitely spend a few minutes here, maybe like 30 minutes vision boarding your life in 2026. Now that you kind of have a baseline on what you did well and what maybe you want to improve from 2025. This year, I'm going to be focusing a bit on kind of revamping my wardrobe. My wardrobe has kind of become a smattering of things that I don't really feel like represent my personality and who I want to be in 2026. So for me, my vision board is going to be a reflection of this new personal brand and image that I want to have, where it feels like Nicole in her 30s as a professional woman who is also focused on building her own business. What does she look like? And so that is like what I want to encourage you guys to think about and do. What is the version of you that you want to be in 2026 visually? The third step to this framework is to set SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. So it's really important that once you have an idea of how you want your 2026 to go, we get hyper-specific on the goals that you need to hit in order to become that version of yourself that you want to be. And just like you did your reflection for 2025 against 6 categories, we will go ahead and set goals in those 6 categories with SMART goals. When we get started with setting our SMART goals, we typically like to tackle categories where we are spending the most brain space thinking about that thing. So for us, because we are focused on financial freedom, we're always talking about our goals primarily in the context of our financial situation. What this looks like is having a sense on our financial freedom number. We have a certain number that we've identified, and every year when we set our goals, we make sure that they ladder up to supporting that number. This is a very good starting point for us because it helps to just kind of anchor the rest of the goal setting around this primary goal that we have. So whatever that is for you, I encourage you guys to start with that. We're planning to do a deep dive on personal finances and how we plan for that individually and as a couple in a future video, so definitely stay tuned for that. After personal finance, the second bucket was our career and business category. Now, a little bit of context, we're both self-employed individuals, so Josh has been running his company for the last few years, and I recently pivoted out of a very strictly corporate career into now diversifying into entrepreneurship and starting my own business. So that being said, it's a very important category for us to talk about because we care a lot about our financial freedom number, and work is going to help us achieve that. After career and business is our focus on health and wellness. So for us in this category, what this looks like is making sure we're on top of our doctor visits every year, seeing the dentist every 6 months, getting a certain amount of steps in per day. For me, that's 10,000 steps, and I try to go to the gym 3 times a week and do strength training. In the relationship category, we have 3 different specific types of relationships. We have Josh and Mai's relationship as a couple. We usually try to do 1 date night every other week. We try to give equal amounts of time to each person's family, where we are focused on critical times of the year like holidays and birthdays. We also care a lot about our friendships. So we try to have 1 phone conversation with a close friend every month. In the personal development category, it tends to be a little bit more flexible. The definition of SMART goals here are basically anything that helps us to develop a greater sense of self and to ground us in that identity. Some good examples here in 2026 for me is revamping my wardrobe. I want to wear things that make me feel like a new version of myself. What this looks like is buying 5 new t-shirts in the style of what I'm going for. Maybe it looks like buying blazers because I don't have any. These very specific, tangible things that ladder up to this broader goal of revamping my personal style. Some people might want to be more well-read, have a goal of like reading 10 fiction books in a year. The last category here for us is personal projects. I like to have this as a separate section because with personal projects, this is a one-time thing that is going to take up a lot of your time. So it's just good to call that out because you will have to allocate time for that in the year. For us this year, in 2025 and going into 2026, it's going to be wedding planning. We know that the first half of the year, we're gonna have to set aside time to just managing the logistics of the wedding planning process. So we're just gonna call it out as something that we're gonna do in 2026. Maybe for you, it looks like, I don't know, a home renovation project. It's gonna take up a lot of your time. Maybe it looks like doing some sort of world travel. Whatever it is, if it's gonna take up a lot of your time beyond your normal categories, call it out explicitly. I would recommend that once you set your SMART goals, just kind of going through it again and being honest with yourself. Is this specific? Is this measurable? If it's not, make it that way because your future self will thank you for that. And the last step here for goal setting is translating your SMART goals into a schedule that works to help execute on those goals. Without my schedule, I pretty much can never hit my goals. It's very important that if I say I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week, I have time dedicated to go to the gym for 1 hour, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I know exactly what I'm doing, which is strength training. Okay, so those are the 4 steps to the framework here. Pretty simple, right? Pretty easy to follow. Also pretty revolutionary in helping us achieve the life that we want to live. Of course, we're human, so it's not perfect in its execution, but I would say that if you get 50% of this right most of the time, you're gonna make some pretty incredible progress towards your future self and who you want to be in 2026. So I just want to encourage you in that. Some watch outs to be aware of is, if you're like me, you're going to feel like you have to set a ton of goals. That is a huge temptation you should try to not indulge. I'd say maybe like anywhere from 1 to maximum 3 specific SMART goals for each category is what you should aim for, because you're not a robot. You want to leave some grace and some space for you to have other things that come up in your life. Don't overwhelm yourselves with over-engineering the goals in your life. They're meant to just be helpful reminders and goalposts for where you want to head. The other thing to watch out for is to make sure that your goals are truly yours. I definitely have a tendency to absorb other people's expectations of how I should set my goals and what I should be in this world. I've found the most important breakthroughs in getting a greater sense of who I am is when I'm just honest with what I actually want, and I set very clear goals to make sure that those things happen, and I protect them. Make sure that the goals that you set are yours and nobody else's. And the last thing is to separate your goals from things that you cannot control. It's really important that you don't try to completely control or have your goals centered around your life looking a certain way. So a good example here is in the relationship category. You set aside 30 minutes every single month to connect with your closest friends. You can't always control how those friendships will feel at the end of the day. Or you can't control how your business outcomes will ultimately pan out, even if you work really hard and you put in the inputs. The point here, though, is that you still make those inputs because you increase the probability of those outputs happening by putting those inputs in. And if they don't wind up working out, you have some concrete data to then iterate your approach for the next year. Be realistic with your goals, have some buffer so that you can actually accomplish the goals that you set out to do. Don't overwhelm yourself, and just get it right 50% of the time. You are going to see some huge transformation in your life in 2026. Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I am so glad to be on this journey with you all. If you like this content, subscribe, follow along. I'll be posting more content about financial freedom, goal setting, productivity, all the things involved with living a good, abundant life that is also financially free, and New York City content. So I'll see you in my next video.